You tell yourself you're fine, that your life is good enough. You don't hate it, you're not in crisis, you're not breaking down in public or screaming into pillows at night. But quietly, very quietly, you know something is wrong. It creeps in during the in-between moments. That hollow stillness after you check your phone for the 10th time. That strange emptiness when the day finally slows down. That dull ache in your chest when you wonder if this is all there is. You've built a comfortable life, and yet your comfort feels suspiciously like a cage. The thing is, the cage is beautiful, decorated, socially approved. From the outside, nothing looks wrong. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort has a shadow side. If you stay in it too long, it becomes a slow, silent death, not of your body, but of your spirit. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this danger well. He called it the last man, a being who abandoned ambition, creation, and risk in exchange for safety and predictability. The last man wakes up to routines that never change. He avoids conflict, avoids pain, avoids the discomfort of becoming. To outsiders, he appears content, but underneath, he is hollow. Because life without challenge is simply existing. And maybe, if you're honest, you've started becoming him. You've chosen the job that doesn't scare you. You've kept the relationships that don't challenge you. You've avoided the decisions that might change everything, because change is another word for threat. Day by day, your comfort zone shrinks, and one day you'll realize you're not living in comfort. You're living in captivity. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato told the story of prisoners chained inside a cave. They could only face the wall, where shadows danced in the firelight. To them, those shadows were reality, until one prisoner broke free. The light outside burned his eyes. It was blinding, painful, but as they adjusted, he saw the real world in all its chaos and beauty. When he returned to free the others, they refused. The shadows felt safer. They couldn't bear the pain of seeing the truth. That is the comfort zone, a place where you settle for shadows because confronting reality feels like too much. Most people never leave it, not because they are physically chained, but because psychologically they're terrified. Terrified that their life so far might have been built on illusions. Terrified that the truth will demand they start over. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a man who risked his life resisting Hitler's regime, understood the cost of avoiding uncomfortable truths. He warned that the most dangerous enemy to goodness wasn't evil. It was passive stupidity. Not stupidity as in lack of intelligence, but the refusal to use one's mind to question the world around you. The passive person doesn't examine their own habits, beliefs, or values. They let life happen to them, like a leaf drifting in the current. They conform, they play their role, and they never notice how much of themselves they've abandoned along the way. Comfort feeds passivity, passivity breeds decay, and decay is death disguised as safety. Here's the thing, your comfort zone doesn't just keep out pain, it keeps out possibility. When was the last time you did something that truly scared you? Not physically, but emotionally. When was the last time you had a conversation that risked rejection, or applied for something you weren't sure you'd get, or walked away from something fine because you wanted something great? Every choice you make to avoid fear is also a choice to avoid growth. And the more you choose avoidance, the more you betray yourself. Carl Jung called this the denial of the shadow. The parts of yourself you fear, reject, or suppress. The longer you ignore these parts, the louder they knock on the walls of your mind. They show up as restlessness, irritability, boredom, even shame. And here's the tragic irony. The life you're avoiding might actually be the only life where you feel alive. Niccolo Machiavelli wasn't a moralist. He was a realist. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both." That might sound dark, but look deeper. Power doesn't come from how comfortable you are. It comes from how much discomfort you can tolerate. Most people give up their power the moment life gets uncomfortable. They back down, they play small, but those who lean into discomfort risk rejection, risk failure. They're the ones who shape their own story, and maybe that's why you feel powerless right now. You've traded your agency for safety. One of the greatest lies your comfort zone tells you is, there's still time. You tell yourself you'll do it later. Start the business later. Tell them how you feel later. Break the bad habit later. But later is a graveyard. It's where dreams go to die quietly, without anyone noticing. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, were obsessed with death, not out of morbidity, but out of clarity. Memento mori, remember you will die, not someday, not in the abstract, soon. And the question is, when that day comes, will you be proud of the life you lived? Or will you realize you mistook safety for meaning? So how do you escape this prison you've built for yourself? First, name the bars. What are the habits, people, fears, and stories keeping you inside your comfort zone? Second, invite discomfort in small doses. Take a risk today. Speak your truth to someone. Try something where success isn't guaranteed. Third, stop measuring your life by how easy it feels. Ease is not the goal. Alignment is, depth is, purpose is. And finally, accept that leaving your comfort zone will hurt. Growth always hurts, but the pain isn't punishment. It's proof you're becoming someone new. The most dangerous part of your comfort zone is that it looks nothing like a prison. It looks like everything is fine. It feels like nothing is wrong. Until one day you realize you traded the person you could become for the person you could easily remain. So the question is this: are you willing to die for who you are? Or are you willing to suffer for who you could be? Step into the light, even if it blinds you, even if it burns, because on the other side of that pain, there is a version of you that your comfort zone will never let you meet. And once you do, you'll realize it was worth every step into the fire. Subscribe to Echo Praxis for ideas that don't just inspire you, they dare you to wake up.